Welcome back to Algebra 1 and Pre-Calc. As I stated, I would do a video of a couple more examples of using the different tangent identities because they're the ones that have all the fractions in them. So the first thing we want to take a look at is the double angle identity for tangent 300. So we want to think about, okay, double means whatever half of that is, that's what I'm going to use. So I'm going to use 150 degrees because I can multiply that times 2. Here's the equation that I have on the top, and I pulled out of the unit circle the one that we're going to use here. So when we set this up, we're going to say this equals, let's get something that shows. This is going to equal, I know I've got a fraction, and it's 2 times, how do we figure out the tangent? Remember, tangent is numerator divided by numerator. So in parentheses, I'm going to put 1 over square root of 3. In the denominator, we're going to have the same 1. When we square a negative, we do get a positive. So this is what we have in the denominator. So simplifying things, do remember that exponents happen before we do this minus a negative. So on the top, we're going to have negative 2 over the square root of 3. And on the bottom, 1 minus negative squared is positive, 1 squared is 1, square root of 3 squared is 3rd. So the denominator simplifies to 2/3. And now we're finally ready to copy, dot, flip, flop. So we have negative 2 over the square root of 3 times 3 over 2. And our 2's do cancel. We can't cancel one outside, one inside. So we have negative 3 on the top, square root of 3 on the bottom. Not allowed to leave that, so we multiply by square root of 3 over square root of 3. So we end up with negative 3 times the square root of 3 over 3. So what we notice here, these are going to cancel. Our final answer is negative the square root of 3. And we can actually look on the unit circle at 300. Second numerator divided by first numerator is going to end up being negative square root of 3 over 1. Second one. Let's take a look at a half angle identity. And in the half angle, we double this equation. We end up with, we're going to do the tangent of 30 degrees because that's going to be divided by 2. And we have our equation here. Remember, we do need to decide positive or negative. And that's going to be based on where our one we're actually looking for is. That is in the first quadrant. That means we're going to be dealing with a positive. So in this case, we have 2 fractions. And the cosine is going to be our first term. So we're going to have 1 minus square root of 3 over 2. And 1 plus square root of 3 over 2. See if I can get it to write a little bit better. Okay, can't copy, dot, and flip-flop as it is. What I need to do is simplify this. And I can simplify the numerator and simplify the denominator separately. So that means I'm going to multiply the 1 by 2 over 2. multiply the bottom one by 2 over 2. And then when I put those under the same fraction, I get 2 minus square root of 3 and 2 plus square root of 3. So I do copy dot flip-flop. What I do notice here is the denominators are exactly the same in both of these. So those are going to end up canceling, and I'm going to end up with 2 minus square root of 3 over 2 plus square root of 3. It is still a fraction with multiple terms inside it, so what I need to do is put parentheses around both, and I need to multiply by the conjugate of the denominator. Both of those are also in parentheses. So the numerator has to be FOILed. The denominator doesn't have to be FOILed because I know that my insides and outsides will cancel. So across the top of my fraction to FOIL, we have firsts, outsides, insides, lasts. And in the denominator, firsts, outsides and insides cancel, lasts, okay, what do you notice about the denominator? It's 1, no more denominator. So now I need to combine like terms, get 7. Negative 2 square root of 3 minus 2 square root of 3 is negative 4 times the square root of 3. Okay, there you go. Let's take a look at an addition or subtraction. On these, I don't really give you the clues, but since this is really close to 360, I'm probably going to do addition on this one. And I will do 300 plus 45. There's a whole bunch of combinations I can do. This is going to be one of my easier ones. So I did pull out the equation and 300 degrees and 45 degrees because those are the two that I'm going to use. And I need to write out every single A gets replaced with 300, every single B gets replaced with 45. So on the top it's tangent of 300 times the tangent 45. On the bottom, it's times. Okay, tangent of 300. Numerator divided by a numerator. Do watch for the signs. So this is negative square root of 3 over 2. 3 over 1. This is negative square root of 3. The tangent of 45. Square root of 2 over square root of 2. I really like using this one because we end up adding and subtracting. subtraction, I've already figured out that this guy is negative square root of 3, and that's times 1. 45 is a really nice one to use because the tangent's 1. So now when I clean this up, I'm going to go ahead and switch the order of this. So I get 1 minus the square root of 3 over 1 plus the square root of 3. Do you see how we're going to use the conjugate again? Multiply by the conjugate of the denominator. So I'm going to multiply by 1 minus square root of 3. Minus square root of 3 plus 1. 1 minus square root of 3 over 1 minus square root of 3. We do FOIL, but in foiling, in the denominator, insides and outsides disappear. Firsts and lasts, there's usually a negative sign here. In the numerator, when we FOIL, firsts, outsides, insides, lasts. Combining like terms, I get 4 minus 2 times the square root of 3 over negative 2. And what I'm going to do is divide both of these terms, not just by 2, but by negative 2, because I don't like negatives in the denominator. And I get negative 2 less square root of 3. Final answer. There's also an equation for subtraction. So we'll do 165 and trying to figure out how to do that with subtraction. If I add 45 to it, I'll get 210. So we have 210 and 45 here. And we're going to set up tangent 210 minus 45, subtraction. We have tangent 210 minus tangent 45. I remember I like tangent 45. It's 1. Plus the tangent of 210 times the tangent of 45. So substituting in here, tangent of 210. Numerator divided by numerator. Negative divided by negative is positive, but the square root of 3 is in the denominator. And minus 1. In the denominator, 1 minus plus negative divided by negative again, minus 1. So do you see the pattern that we end up getting a lot of? Plus and minus. Same terms, but plus and minus. The denominator for everything is going to be the square root of 3. And the reason we know that is because we're going to multiply by square root of 3 over square root of 3. And the numerator is 1 minus the square root of 3, all divided by square root of 3, and 1 plus square root of 3. And that is divided by the square root of 3. And when I copy dot flip-flop, I get just the numerators. I have 1 minus the square root of 3 over 1 plus the square root of 3. And with that, multiply by their conjugate. Which is 1 minus 1 minus the square root of 3 over 1 minus the square root of 3. Numerator FOILs, denominator, insides and outsides cancel. So numerator, firsts, outsides, insides, lasts. Denominator, firsts, insides, outsides cancel, lasts. So we get 4 minus 2 square root of 3 over negative 2. Oh, numbers tend to be very similar. Negative 2 plus square root of 3. Okay, hope this helps. I will post this online with your homework.